Once upon a time, an OC was drawn, but the creator thought, I'd like to have a dress like that. And thus an idea was born. Hey fellow douchebags, welcome to my channel. In the spirit of trying new things, we're doing something a little different, cause that's what you do when your channel's having an identity crisis. So instead of the usual speed paints and sweet nothings that no one asked for, today we will be attempting to recreate the outfit on one of my previous speed paints. Fun fact, I actually do fashion as my main focus of study, which I plan to get a career at in the future, despite how the pandemic completely butchered that industry. But I'm one of them fools that don't quit, even though she probably should. So I wanted to make use of my time learning how to make clothes, and this design seems simple enough, so shouldn't be too hard, right? Right? So, to begin, in the very beginning. But first, let's start with a disclaimer. Sorry if the angle of me filming makes it hard to tell what I'm actually doing, but rest assured, I don't know what I'm doing either. So to begin with, we have to make the patterns. And because I don't own a mannequin, sin number 2, I'm taking a different approach to this by tracing a shirt I already had that kind of similar to the design of the dress and tweaking the pattern from that into the actual shirt dress. I did this by tracing the shape and patterns of the shirt directly onto the pattern paper using a tracing wheel. Basically, you trace around a garment, focusing particularly on certain pattern, and the sharp points kind of traces underneath the pattern and onto the paper, which you can then easily trace over. And yeah, that is the tracing wheel, everybody. And that's why you should always get a mannequin. I also had a weird pizza cutter thing called the rotary cutter that you can use to cut the pattern paper and sometimes the fabric. And I plan to use this method to cut the fabrics and the pattern papers with and master this instrument at the end of the video, she says. I decided to draft the color by hand because it was a lot easier to just quickly draw it myself rather than going through the effort of tracing it when I know I can easily do it myself, she says after getting it right on the 4th attempt. You have no idea how many tries and how long it took just to get this darn color right. I also changed the original design by removing the sleeves because I wanted this to be a summer dress. I know I said that I wanted to use the wheel, but like driving, I just can't get the hang of it yet, so I reverted back to scissors, like the coward I am. And eventually we got our first twirl pieces. So I pinned down the pattern onto the calico, and yes, I'm wearing my PJs because I've been rocking the hermit chic for 2 years now. I then cutted them out and added the notches and the darts and all the other techie this and that's. And yeah, I need to work on my angle. These shots are way too close. It's so unclear to see what I'm doing, but it is as unclear to me as well. So I got to sewing this puppy up. So there I am, sewing. So. Oh, look at me go. And we got our first twirl! Yay! Wow! So, in case you're wondering, hold up, That's a bit of a cheap looking fabric. Are you really gonna be wearing that? And to that, I say no. The process behind making outfits starts with making a twirl, which is starting to make it out of this fabric called calico, which is a more cheaper, more easier to use fabric, and it's a lot cheaper as well because you don't really want to use up so much of your actual fabric, which could be expensive. So you just do all your experimenting, all the trial and error with the calico until you perfect the pattern, which you can then use to make the final outfit. And that's what we're doing. We're experimenting if the pattern that we're working with is okay or not before we commit to the actual fabric. And here is why we do that. Behold, the first twirl. Thank fuck I didn't use the final fabric for this. Cause as expected, this didn't go to plan. And yes, I did sew the back skirt inside out by accident. Big yikes. But we're not aiming for perfection here. We're starting small. We ain't trying to win first place. We're aiming for a participation medal. One of the issues, the front doesn't align. Like, I can't even, you can't even, this dress can't even. The waist is way too low and the armhole is far too tight. Far too tight. Oh my god. My armpits were crying. And the back collar, oh, the back collar, it's higher than my hopes and dreams. So yeah, that needs to calm down. So all these errors have to go. Don't even get me started on how this actually fitted on me. But a wise man once said, improvise, adapt, conquer. The odds are against me, but and may raise me better to just give up like that, no matter how much I probably should. So we move on to the second twirl. So I'm back at square one, drafting a new pattern with these new changes. I added a pleat and a yoke onto the bodice. How to do that, I had no idea. After too much overthinking, I eventually figured out to just basically trace the back for the top part to make it into a two-piece. And as for the dart on the front, I used the slash and dash method that my senpais taught me. I even used a pizza cutter for that, so I added a bit of breathing room. After that first twirl, Lord knows I needed it. I also made the armhole much wider so I don't strangle my pits. I also made the back a centimeter or so wider so that it's less tight. And to make it a tad bit more appealing, I changed the skirt into a pencil skirt so I can have that Marilyn Monroe poofiness. And lastly, I made the bodice much shorter because I don't know what's going on here. So after doing that, in the not so flattering light, I pinned and cutted the new pattern.
One week later,
and headed to sewing it again. Enjoy the montage.
$2,000 years later.
So after doing all those changes, I tried it on again. it feels so much better than the first twirl. Like, oh my god, I can't express how relieved I am to feel that this actually feels right. Though I don't know what my professor's standards would rate this. Who am I kidding? They probably wouldn't, but it's the thought that counts. And all I can say is I like this second attempt so much better, and I think that it's ready. The actual fabric, all that needs changing really is the skirt length, because not gonna lie, it's so short that I'm one sneeze away from exposing my panties. So yeah, those new changes are simple enough, but because these 10 minutes are actually 2-3 months worth of work thanks to video editing, I managed to squeeze it down to a 10-ish minute video for you guys. But I gotta leave it here for now, cause how the fuck are you supposed to make these projects, film them, edit them all in a week? And someone please tell me how you're supposed to make regular videos when you work 5 days a week, cause not gonna lie, your girl is losing her shit. But yeah, the final saga of this dress should be out soon, I hope, but we'll see from my upload schedule. That might take another decade, but eventually. Fingers for on that. If you want to see if I make it or fucked it up, then stay tuned. Like and subscribe if you can, please. It's free. Who doesn't like free things? And yeah, this dress looks promising, so I hope I get there. And with that, I'll leave you be. Bye.